Hello, and welcome to Lengold English, Golden Stories, Fluent Future. Our mission is to take difficult subjects and make them accessible, no matter your English level. Is your life hard today? Do you see big problems and think, I cannot win? This is not a simple story about a successful man. This is a story about a man who failed many times before he won. Today, you will not only practice your English, you will not only learn new simple words, you will get something more important, a strong idea for your own life. You will learn how to never stop when things are hard. This story will show you that where you start is not important. We tell the true story of Chung Ju-young. He was a poor farm boy. He had nothing, but he had a big dream. This story is a very good lesson about not giving up and how to build something great from zero. This story will change how you see success and failure. You will see that big success comes after very hard failures. Listen carefully to how this man never quit. That is the secret. This story will change how you see success and failure. If you want more stories that help your English and your mind, subscribe now and let's grow together.
Our story begins in 1915, in a very poor village in what is now North Korea. The world was different then. Life was hard. There was no internet, no easy travel, and often not enough food. This is where Chung Ju-young was born. He was the oldest son in a family of 8 children. His family were farmers. They worked the field every day, from sunrise to sunset. Chung Ju-young's life was simple, but it was a life of hard work and very little money. The family had to struggle just to eat. In the small village, everyone worked the field. This was their life. There was no talk of big cities, big companies, or rich lives. Life was dirt, sweat, and simple hope for a good harvest. The impossible dream. Chung Ju-young did not like this life. When he was a young boy, he had a secret feeling, a strong desire. He read books when he could find them, and he learned about the world outside his village. He saw that there was a different life, a bigger life, waiting for him. His father wanted him to be a farmer, like all the men before him. But Chung Ju-young did not want to be a farmer. He looked at the hard, unmoving dirt, and he saw limitations. He saw no future. His dream was not small. His dream was to leave the village, go to a big city, and become a businessman. He wanted to create things. He wanted to build. For a poor farm boy in that time, this dream was truly impossible. It was like wanting to fly to the moon. When he was still a boy, he knew he had to leave. The farm was a trap.
First obstacles and doubts. Chung Ju-young tried to leave home 4 times. Yes, 4 times. The first time he left, he was only a child. He walked for many miles to a nearby town to work as a construction helper. He lifted heavy stones and mixed cement. But after just 2 months, his father found him and brought him back. His father was angry. "Your place is here, on the farm," his father said. The second time he ran away, he went with a friend. They walked far and tried to find work as laborers. They were young and did not know how the city worked. Soon, they ran out of money and food. They were starving. Chung Ju-young felt like a failure, and he had to return to the village. His father was disappointed, but he took him back. The third time was very serious. He sold one of his family's cows, took the money, and bought a train ticket to Seoul, the big capital city. This was a very big mistake. When he arrived in Seoul, he found a job, but a thief quickly stole all the money he had left. He felt empty and very afraid. The great city was cold and dangerous. Again, he had to go home, poor and ashamed. These failures created big doubts. His family thought he was foolish. His father said, "Why do you run from a life that is safe and real? The city is not for you." Chung Ju-young himself started to doubt. Maybe the farm was his destiny. Maybe he was not smart enough. But that strong desire inside him did not die. He knew one thing. He had to try one more time. The fourth time he left, he did not look back. He was 19 years old. He went to Seoul and started working. He did every kind of hard job, construction worker, delivery boy, and more. He saved every penny. He learned everything he could. He was not just working, he was studying the city, the people, and business. This spirit of never giving up, even after 3 big failures, was the foundation of his whole life. He finally escaped the farm, but the real challenges were just beginning.
Devastating failures and a new start. Chung Ju-young was finally in Seoul and working. He was smart and he worked harder than anyone. In 1937, he managed to open his first business, a small rice store. He called it Kyung-il Rice Store. This was his big chance. He was a boss. He worked very hard. He delivered rice to people quickly and politely. His business grew fast. He had money and success. He thought, "Finally, I am free." But this success was short-lived. Just 2 years later, the Japanese government, which controlled Korea at the time, made a law. The law said that all small rice stores must close. The government wanted to control the rice distribution. This was a devastating failure. Chung Ju-young lost everything: his store, his money, his dream. It was gone in one day because of a government law. He was back to zero. He felt the familiar pain of failure, just like when he ran away from the farm the first 3 times. Did he go home? No. He took the small money he had left and he started again. He decided to try the auto repair business. Why? Because he knew how to work hard, and he knew that people always need their cars fixed. moments of near quitting. In 1940, he opened his first garage, the Ado Service Garage. This business was even harder. He was not an expert mechanic, but he learned fast. He used his energy and his honesty to get customers. But fate was not kind. Just 3 years later, in 1943, a huge fire started in his garage. Everything burned. The tools, the building, the cars waiting for repair. He watched his business turn to ash. This was worse than losing the rice store. This fire was a complete, total loss. Imagine this moment. You are a young man. You have failed at leaving home 3 times. You lost your first business because of a law, and now your second business is completely destroyed by fire. Most people would quit forever. They would say, "This is a sign. I should stop. I am not lucky."
Chung Ju-young was heartbroken. He stood in front of the burned garage. He felt the cold truth. He had nothing left. He could have easily given up and accepted a simple life. But he had a different thought. He looked at the ash and he saw not an ending, but a lesson. Learning through pain and early breakthrough. What was the lesson? It was about speed and trust. After the fire, he went to his old customers. He told them, "I had a fire, but I will fix your cars. I will rebuild my business, and I will be faster and better than before." The customers trusted him because he was honest and always worked hard. They gave him a chance. He borrowed money from friends and worked day and night. He bought new tools and rebuilt the garage. He worked with incredible speed to fix the damaged cars and get the business running again. This time, the new garage was better organized. He made sure that everything was correct and efficient. This experience gave him a new principle. The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. In 1946, after World War II ended, Korea was starting to rebuild. Chung Ju-young saw this chance. He did not go back to fixing cars. He saw a bigger opportunity: construction. The country needed new roads, new bridges, and new buildings. In 1947, he established the Hyundai Civil Works Company. The name Hyundai means modern or up-to-date. This was the real beginning of the Hyundai we know today. His first big contract came during the Korean War. The U.S. Army needed buildings and infrastructure built quickly. Hyundai's company was small, but he did not say, "I cannot." He said, "I will find a way."
He learned how to manage big projects. He learned about leadership and how to inspire his workers. He learned how to innovate when he did not have the right materials. The pain of the past failures, the rice store, the fire, made him strong and smart. He was not afraid of big problems anymore. He knew that the only real failure was the choice to stop trying. The poor farm boy was now a serious businessman, ready for the next big challenge. Part 3. The Transformation.
building the unbuildable. The decisive turning point. The biggest turning point came in the 1960s and 1970s. Chung Ju-young decided to go from construction to shipbuilding and automobiles. These were the two of the hardest industries in the world, and Korea had no history in either. Everyone said, "It's impossible." He wanted to build a great shipbuilding company, Hyundai Heavy Industries. To start, he needed a lot of money and a design for a huge ship. He went to England to ask for a loan. The bankers looked at him. He was Korean, from a country with no shipbuilding experience. They asked, "Where is your shipyard? Where is your experience?" Chung Ju-young had nothing, but he did not beg. He had an idea. He pulled a 500 won Korean banknote from his wallet. On the note was a picture of the turtle ship, a famous Korean warship from the 16th century. He showed the note to the bankers and said, "This ship proves that Korea has a long and great history of shipbuilding. We have the intelligence. We only need the money. We will do it." This act of boldness and confidence convinced the bankers. He got the loan. He went back to Korea and built the shipyard at the same time he was building the first two giant oil tankers he had promised to the buyers. This was crazy, but it worked. Hyundai became one of the largest shipbuilders in the world. He proved that the impossible is just a big word.
Exponential growth and global impact. Next was the automobile industry. Chung Ju-young wanted to build a Korean car that could compete with the world. In 1967, he founded the Hyundai Motor Company. Again, everyone said it was impossible. Korea had no technology for cars. But Chung Ju-young did not listen. He hired good people, he learned from foreign companies, and he used the same can-do spirit from his days as a poor repairman. In 1975, Hyundai introduced the Hyundai Pony, the first mass-produced Korean car. It was simple, reliable, and affordable. It was not the best car in the world, but it was a beginning. The Pony opened the door to success. Chung Ju-young's life became a story of constant, exponential growth. Construction, shipbuilding, cars, electronics, Hyundai Electronics, and more. He built a giant conglomerate that changed South Korea forever. He did not just build companies, he helped build a modern nation. He showed the world that a poor country with strong leadership and relentless effort can become a major global economic power. The dream of the poor farm boy became the reality of a global industrial titan. The legacy left. Chung Ju-young passed away in 2001, but his legacy is everywhere. He left a simple, clear message: try it out. He believed that you must always try before you say something is impossible. He did not just leave money to his children, he left a culture of enterprise. He showed millions of people that hard work, honesty, and a refusal to accept failure can change the course of your life and your country.
He was the man who kept running away from the farm until he finally built the biggest farm of all, the Hyundai Group, which employed thousands of people and built the very foundation of modern industry. He proved that success is not about where you start, but about how many times you choose to stand up after you fall.
Lessons extracted. This incredible true story is not just history. It is a guidebook for your life. Here are the 5 essential lessons you can take from Chung-Ju Young today. Failure is training. The 4th attempt. Chung-Ju Young failed 3 times to leave home, lost his rice store, and lost his garage to fire. He did not see these events as final defeats. He saw them as expensive lessons. Application. When you fail a test or a project, don't quit. Ask, what did this failure teach me? Use that lesson to be stronger next time. The power of can do. Building the shipyard. When everyone said he could not build a shipyard and ships at the same time, he did it. He had an I can do it mindset, even without all the resources. Application. Stop saying I can't before you even try. Look at a hard task, take a deep breath, and say, how can I start this today? Use what you have. The turtle ship. When he needed a loan, he did not have a big company to show. He used a piece of history, the picture on a banknote, to show his spirit and long-term potential. Application. You may not have money, but you have energy, time, and creativity. Don't focus on what you lack. Focus on how to use what you already possess. See opportunities in disaster, the fire, and the war. After the fire, he focused on building trust with customers. During the war, he saw the need for construction. He did not look for problems, he looked for solutions. Application. When things are bad, a bad economy, a bad moment in your life, look for the need. Where can you help? Where is the opportunity to start something new? Persistence is the real genius. This is the most powerful lesson. Application. Learning a new language like English is hard. Business is hard. Life is hard. The secret is simple. Stay in the game. Do one small task every day. Never quit. This story teaches us that extraordinary results come from ordinary people who refuse to quit. If this story inspired you, show it by liking this video. Comment below, what lesson from this story will you apply in your life? Share this video with someone who needs inspiration today. Subscribe to Lengoldenglish for more golden stories that improve your English and transform your mindset. Hit the notification bell because every story we tell here is carefully chosen to help you grow. Remember, every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once a beginner. Your story is still being written. What chapter will you start today?